Hi everyone, this is Mohit and welcome back to Ingenious TechHub channel. So in this video, we will discuss what is software testing life cycle. So we have already discussed what is software development life cycle. So in the software development life cycle, we having the testing phase, right? So we have discussed, like from the starting, the complete process of the software development life cycle. Like this, we having the software testing life cycle. So in the testing phase, how we are going to start the testing and how we can close our testing, this all the activity involved in the software testing phase. Okay, so in software testing phase, we having the requirement analysis, test planning, test case development, environment tests, environment setup, test execution, test cycle closure. So we will discuss everything, guys, in very details. Okay, so please do not miss to watch this video. We learn many things with real time example. Okay, so someone will ask, what is software testing life cycle? Software testing life cycle is a sequence of a specific activity conducted during the testing process to ensure the software quality goals are met. Software testing life cycle involve both verification and validation activity. So in my last session, we have already discussed what is verification and validation activity. So here the first phase we having the requirement analysis. So what will happen when we are going to start the testing? We will get a requirement from the client, right? Might be they having the some document requirement and all. So in this requirement analysis, we will analyze, for testing stuff and all, right? So like what type of the testing and all we are going to do, and what is like a scope and all. So everything we will understand. I can give you one example. So might be they have given some uh complicated application. So we will analyze, right? We don't know their application. According to the analysis, we having the test planning. So we can give the test, one estimation, what tools and what tools we can use, because might be their application is based on not a web. They having the some automation planning and all. So and we can also discuss about the features. We can analyze the complete application here. Then we can create a test planning. So test planning is nothing but this is the high level of the document. We have a complete document over there. So in the test planning, we will do the test strategy. Then we in the test planning, we having the what a scope we need to test. Then we having the resources planning, what the tools we have to, we having the estimation, we having the some training activity, we what the risk we have and all, while doing this all the testing phase. Okay, so this all the things we will document and we will discuss in the everything in the depth. Then we have a test case development. What do you meaning of test case development means? When you will get business requirement document from the client, so we can find the high level scenario, then we can split those scenario in the small features wise. Then after that we can start to write the test case. So we having the separate session for guys how to write the test case and all, but here just I'm giving the overview. Okay, then we have an environment setup. What do you meaning of environment setup means? All the activity will not do in the one environment. Okay, so we have a development environment, we have a testing environment, we have a stage, we having the production or user environment, right? So one place is there, we have installed the software, we can test over there, we can also learn in the depth, don't worry. Now we having the test execution, where once your test case completed, everything is done. Once the code will deploy in the testing environment, right? I have told you, right, before deployment we having that environment is ready. So who will do that? Developer or DevOps engineer will do that. You should not worry about that. Test execution. So test execution, we can have everything is ready, then we can start to do the execution, right? So this is simple thing, guys. So if you are going to log in your application, you are going to do registration on your we have a registration page, right? If you are a new user, so all the data you are entering, right? So that data we have to create for the testing as well. Okay, then entering the data and executing, and just what we are going to do, we will compare actual with expected. Okay, now we have a test cycle closure. When you will complete each and everything, we can do one more round of the verification. We should not miss anything, and this all the things will be documented, how many defect you found and all. So we will summarize each and everything, and we can send a final report to our stakeholder. We can go ahead, we are okay with that, then they can go for the next phase, they will release the software and all. So this is how this is important, your job here. Understood, right? So we will explore everything in the depth. So it consists 6 phases: requirement analysis, test planning, test case development, test environment setup, test execution, and test cycle closure. So now we can discuss requirement analysis. What is, if someone will ask, what is requirement analysis? So I already discussed, right? So in this phase, the testing team analyze the software requirement to understand its functionality, features, user expectation. They identify the scope of testing, potential risk, and testing objective. So be having the complete analyzation here. Okay, analysis. Okay, understood, right? So this is like complete application. We are going to analyze and we are doing the analysis. QA team may interact with various stakeholders to understand the requirement in details. Might be they have given some document, but we are not able to understand. So we can reach out to the people who is already, the who is prepared this document, and we can reach out to a stakeholder as well to understand the requirement. So I can give you one example. Like imagine a team is developing an e-commerce website. The requirement analysis phase would involve understanding the features like user registration, product search, shopping cart, and payment processing. So I have given very simple example. So we can have to, sorry. So, right. So imagine a team is developing a e-commerce website. The requirement analysis phase would be involved understanding the features like user registration, a product search, shopping cart, and payment processing. So this is like a very simple thing, guys, but if we will work in the real time, some complicated application we are not able to understand the features, or we do not work on that domain, and that domain is new for us, right? So we can reach out to a stakeholder and the who is the POC of that, and we can try to understand the requirement. We have a meeting with them, and we can try to clear our requirement. Until unless requirement is not clear, we are not able to test properly, right? So this is your first job, to understand the requirement clearly. Okay, so this is your requirement phase. So now we having the test planning. So we have already discussed regarding the test planning, but we will explore, but we having the separate session for test planning. Here I have trying to discuss all the phase of software testing life cycle, but in the depth how to do that, like you have to design your test cases. How to do that, we can learn in the coming session. Okay, so test planning involve creating a details test plan that outline the testing strategy, scope, objective, resources, timeline, and risk. It define the testing technique, tools, environment to be test used. Okay, so now preparing of test plan strategy document for the various type of the testing. Like we have a test tool section, we have a test effort estimation, resources planning, and determine the roles and responsibility of your resources. So this all the activity we have inside this test planning. Okay, so now we having the training required. So some of the resources you have to train. So everything we have to discuss, or your resources is not trained on the current technology. So we can plan to train them, right? So this all the activity is involved here. Now the test case development. Okay, so basically guys, to test case development, I can say, in the test case development, basically you will get a requirement document, right? So we can find the high level, then we can split those scenarios and we can start to write a step by step the test cases. So I told you, right, we can discuss in the coming session how to write the cases. If someone will ask what is the test case development phase, so you should understand. So we having the some important component in the test case development. We have a test steps, test data, expected, precondition and post condition. I'll show you some template as well, right? So in this phase, tester take the software requirement specification and design document as a basis to design the test scenario and test case. Each test case typically include the following element. So we have a test steps, test data, expected, precondition and post condition. So let me show you. This is we having the simple format or simple template of the test cases. So basically you can see, just I have a one snapshot, but we will also learn in the practical how to design the test cases. So you can see precondition, post condition. Some of the precondition is there, like before going for the home page, you have to log in. Before login your application, you have to register. So this is like the pre and post condition, I can say, right? So you can see test case ID, then test case title, summary and steps, and this is your data. And actual and expected result we will define in our test case. Okay. So now we have a test environment setup. So I have already discussed what the meaning of test environment setup. It is like an infrastructure of our software. So in our software we having the different phases, right? Development phase, testing phase, production phase. Like that we will also install our software in the all the phases, right? In the developer is doing the work in the development phase, development environment. Tester, we are going to test in application in our testing environment. And it is like a virtual machine where we can install our software, I can say. Now these days the people are following the cloud as well, right? But this environment is completely different from others environment. If we will do in the same thing in the same environment, it will impact in our application as well. So it must having this all the environment separately as per our requirement. So test environment setup. To test environment setup refer to the process for creating control and a standardized environment in which software testing can be conducted. It involves configuring the hardware, software network, database, and other component to mimic the real world production environment as closely as possible. So we will try to create this environment as per the production or users. So users are using the same thing, right? User will use, but we have already tested this all the things in this environment, right? The testing team may not be involved in this activity. Our job is not to creating this environment, and all developer team or DevOps team will take care of this test environment. The test team will require to do the readiness and check a smoke test of the given environment. What do you meaning of that? Our software is installed in the testing environment, then this is our job is to how to validate this is installed properly or not. Are you getting any environment issue or infrastructure issue and all, right? Okay, so now test execution. Once everything is ready, then we can start to the execution, right? So what will execution means? Because this code is deployed in your testing, now we can validate, we can start to do the execution, right? The tester execute the test cases according to the test plan. They input a specified data, perform the action and compare the outcome, actual outcome with expected outcome. Okay, so I have given one example as well. So tester would execute the test cases for user registration, product search and other feature like e-commerce website, and they would observe whether the website behaves as expected and report any discrep- uh, discrepancies. Like if you are finding any defect or actual and expected is not match, then what we'll do, we can raise the defect and we can hand over to the developer. We will also discuss how to raise the defect and what is the defect and what is the defect life cycle in the coming days. Okay, so here we are not going to involve everything. Okay, so this is related to software testing life cycle. Now the most important thing, guys, test cycle closure. Okay, Once your team is completed all the activity or testing they have completed, understood, right? So everything they have done, in the last you have to give the sign of email to the your stakeholder. Hey guys, testing is completed. You have to give the complete summary of whatever we have done, how many defect you have found, what is the critical defect we have, what is the everything you have to summarize, how many fixes we have. Still we have some minor defect, but we can have a ready to release our product and all, right? If still not, then still we have to work on that, right? So this all the things we have to give to our stakeholder. Okay, so test cycle closure in a simple term is like a finishing a book and closing it after you have read in the last page. Like you are reading the book, you have read that book and you are going to you are in the last page and you are going to close the your book. In software testing, it means wrapping up the testing process for a specific phase or project. Understood, right? Here is the straightforward explanation is there. Imagine you were reading a book. When you reach the end and finish the reading, you close the book and put aside, and test closure is also similar. Okay, so I have given us one example as well for the book, so that example will also help you to understand what is the test cycle closure. And this all are the interview question, and you should know also, if you are a tester, you should know each and every process. Okay, so end of testing, tester after testers have finished the testing a software project or a particular phase of the testing, like checking if any new app working properly, they have reached end of the testing process. Okay, the end of the testing. Now we will do the some final check also. Just like you might have back to the book and index and table and content, make sure you did not miss anything. Okay, tester do a final check to make sure all the planned tests were completed. Okay, documentation, we will prepare the proper documentation. Tester write down the everything they did during the testing, what tests were run and which bug were found and fixes, how the software performed and more. This creates a record for feature reference. Okay, sorry, this means future reference, not a feature reference. Evaluation, tester and testing team review all the finding to see how well the software performed during the testing. They consider how many bugs were found and how server the savers they were and how the software met its goal. Okay, decide next steps. Okay, so everything is done, then we have to decide what is the next. So based on the test results, this is how your job is important. Based on the test result, the project team decide to what to do next. So if the software is good to go, it might move on the next phase or even be released to user. If there are still issues, it might we go back to the development or for more fixes. Okay, so this is how your job is important. Then report and communication. Just like you might tell to the friend how much you enjoy a book or discuss what you did not like, the testing team communicate the test result to the rest of the test project team, and they share what to work well and what needs improvement. Okay, so this all we having the guys meeting and we having a good collaboration between the all the teams. I told you right in the last session we have already discussed agile process, how we are going to communicate with all the teams, anyone, right? So finally we have a closure. The testing finally the testing phase is considered a close. It's like a putting the book aside after you have read from the cover to cover. Okay, okay, then testing team's job for this phase is done and software is ready to move forward based on the result. Okay, so as per the our test closure result, they will decide to release our product into the production environment. Okay, so in this session, that's it guys. So if you are new in the channel, please subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get new video notification. So if you will go in the YouTube, okay, just go in the YouTube, you can type Ingenious Tech Hub. This is my channel name. If you are new in the channel, please go and subscribe my channel and press bell icon. Then only you will get new video notification. If you will go in the playlist, you will get the complete playlist for manual testing. Okay, so here we have a complete playlist for manual testing. So still I am working on that to upload more videos in the coming session. Okay, and if you like searching job or you are attending the interview, you will get many interview question. You can just go through this playlist. You will get some real-time interview question and answer. You can just go to this playlist. So in this playlist you will get what the challenges you have faced in the current project. If you are a manual tester planning to switch in the automation, so this all the scenario based question you will get. Suppose you are planning to learn also uh, automation testing, so we also provide the live session guys, but if you are looking forward to learn yourself, then we have a beautiful course. So in this course, I have designed this course from very basics with the best content. Okay, anyone can understand this course if you never did the programming. If you are from non-tech guy, you will also learn this. Go to the syllabus section and you can just explore this. You will find some demo videos. If you like this, please click on the buy. You will get now 50% discount. This course is only for 749. So this is for limited offer guys. So please, you can also add automation skills so you have a more possibility to get the more interview calls, and you one day you will get the job as well. Again, thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.